Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid preview. This is the preview to Real Madrid against Pachuca for match day 2 of the Club World Cup. After a very disappointing, I would say, opening day in the Club World Cup for Real Madrid, I fully expect a lot better from this team, and I do not think that it is too much to ask. And I don't think we won't see that progression. I think we will. This team has had 3 to 4 days now, since that game, to not just rest and recover, but also, like we said in the review, every single day spent with Xabi Alonso for these players is a new growing and learning opportunity. It doesn't matter if it's on the pitch in training or off the pitch in the hotel, or doing meals or whatever. It doesn't matter. Every single day spent together helps in some ways or another. So I'm not saying that we will see prime Xabi Alonso ball. I'm not saying that we will see some of the best football you'll ever see. I'm not gonna be here saying that, because I think we know. I think as Real Madrid fans, we fully know that first of all, these players haven't had enough time. Even the last few days, on top of the week and a half with certain players that he's had, isn't enough. He needs this period plus the entirety of pre-season to be able to fully, get things right. Plus, there are still positions that I'm looking at in the team that, questionable. I think I saw reports saying that Real Madrid were looking for a creative midfielder. Please, we are actually calling out for a midfielder who can do what Toni Kroos has done for this club, and we need that. We need that. I don't care if it's Vitinha. I don't care if it's Angelo Stiller. It doesn't matter. Go and get some of these guys. Okay, go and get them. And as well, you're looking at left back. I think Fran Garcia had a decent game against Al Hilal. It wasn't wow, but I don't think he was terrible. But again, defensively, we know his weaknesses, and I just don't get the feeling that it will change much throughout the season. I think, yeah, maybe it will be Alvaro Fernandez. I've always sort of believed that, could we get Theo Hernandez? But I doubt Real Madrid will go for that route. I think we are looking for younger, looking forward, for the next 5-10 years sort of thing. And Theo Hernandez is at 27 now, isn't he? So I don't think we'll go for that. And again, another striker, a Joselu type striker who can come in and be happy to be more of the backup, but come in whenever needed, score 10-15 goals, and do the job for the team. Gonzalo Garcia will get the running because Mbappe is not even in the squad list. He won't be involved at all, so he will get that running, and it's good for him. It's good for his confidence. It's good for him to be able to play and start the work already from day one. But it doesn't mean that he has to be the backup. We need better. We need more experience in that backup role, and we need guarantees that we can get a top man in. And I think Gonzalo Garcia did very well to get that goal, to play that well against Al Hilal, but we definitely need more experience there. So with that being said, this team is not fully proper yet, but also this team is not fully adapted yet as well. That's what I'm trying to get at, and that's what I've been trying to get at. So give this team time, like I said in the review. Give this team time. Give Xabi Alonso time. We will stick with him. We will stick by these players as well. I think that there really isn't a lot of players that I'm looking at thinking they have to leave. In fact, to be honest, I think maybe you would say, okay, one of Mendy and Fran Garcia has to leave to make space for another left back. One of Alaba has to leave as well. I think Alaba has to go. I don't really think that he will fit into the system, and I don't believe that physically he is gonna be fit enough to be able to play here. I just don't think he's at that level anymore, and there is still questions about Rodrigo. But after the first game, I thought Rodrigo was probably the standout attacker. I thought Vini Jr. was very disappointing. We need to see the peak of Vini Jr. back. Bellingham, again, it is that shoulder operation that he needs. He's playing with a lot of frustration. Okay, Jude Bellingham is playing with a lot of frustration right now. And that is not because of him as a person, as a player. A lot of factors go in. When calls don't go your way, maybe refereeing decisions that are poor, maybe you just don't get the ball, maybe a pass you make, goes the wrong way, or you make a mistake, or the you make a good pass but your teammate lose the ball, things like that. It affects, it contributes, and he's on top of that, he is playing with pain. He's playing through pain, so he needs to quickly. I don't hope that we quickly exit this tournament, but he needs to quickly get his operation done and come back as a stronger, better player. But the good thing is, he has had time to learn and settle in with Xabi Alonso. That's good. And yeah, Fede Valverde missed the penalty, but we still love him. And the rest of the team, I thought Dean Huijsen was the standout player, my man of the match probably after the game. But we're not here to talk about the Al Hilal game. We move on. We look forward to the new day, the next chapter. We're up against a Pachuca side, a very different side to Al Hilal. But again, don't underestimate these teams. They are Mexican side. I know they lost the opening game against Salzburg, but it wasn't a walkover by any means. South American teams have actually impressed, I think, a lot of people, including me. A lot this competition, this tournament, and I think Pachuca will bring that as well. So you're looking at a very tight game. We need to win. Salzburg are top of the table right now of this group. Will they beat Al Hilal? I don't think so. I think Al Hilal win, and if Al Hilal win and we win, both of us go up to the top with 4 points each. Salzburg stay third with 3 points, and then Pachuca are bottom, right? I think by then Pachuca are officially out of this tournament. But what we have to do is win. And I expect a very close game. I'm looking at a 2-1, a 3-2, etc. Right? I'm looking at a very, very close game. Now, I will quickly go through Pachuca because I think in order for me to do this preview, I kind of want to talk about the team, what to expect, what I hope to see. Let's talk about Pachuca. Again, current form in all competitions, I'm not going to bother. We will talk about their first game, which was against Salzburg, which, like I said, they lost 2-1. Stats don't really paint the full story, but they had more shots on target, more possession. But again, what's the point of having more possession, more shots, if you're not going to be putting them in, and you're not going to be clinical, right? But they've got some recognizable players in there. We did play them earlier last season in the Intercontinental Cup, and we won 3-0, I believe. They've got some familiar faces. You're looking at Solomon Rondon, Idrissi, Kennedy, ex-Chelsea there, and I mean, overall, most of the team you're probably being like unrecognizable, but nonetheless, I think they are going to be a very tough team. They have that in them. I think South American teams in general have that in them. I think especially the South American teams that made it here, which are pretty much the best anyways, but they have that in them. And if you look at Chelsea's group, by the way, I'm just thinking, imagine FC Lyon were in there instead of LAFC, and LAFC have like really not done much in this competition, and they're gonna get knocked out. So things like that. But yeah, back to this game. South American teams, as we know, have got a lot in them in terms of that passion, that desire to win, and also they bring a lot of physicality into this game. And I'm looking at this team. Yes, we've got Tchouaméni, Huijsen, probably Rüdiger, Bellingham, but the rest of the team is not that physical, is it? It's not overall too physical. But my team is pretty much unchanged from the first game, right? This is pretty much the starting 11 that started against Al Hilal, because this is the strongest team I think Xabi Alonso has to work with. Courtois is the number one keeper. He will be. He is. And I thought, apart from saving a penalty, what's he supposed to do on that, right? Like, penalties are hit and miss. And you take a gamble, you dive one way, you guess wrong, right? I want to see Huijsen and Rüdiger. Rüdiger has been included in the squad list. I don't know what his level in terms of fitness is. Let me check the squad list again. Because I want to just have a look. Real Madrid posted this, I believe, on their Instagram. So Asensio is in the squad list. So it could be one of those where Rüdiger maybe plays an hour or 45 minutes and Asensio plays the other half, or the other way around, right? But I want to see a change in terms of how Huijsen and Rüdiger complement each other, because they are tall, physical players, but they're not necessarily similar in terms of the way they play the game. I was very impressed with Dean Huijsen, not just his defensive capabilities, but also the passing range, carrying of the ball, the confidence, and yeah, just him. I am, like, I wouldn't say, I think in love is a little bit of a strong and awkward word, but I really, really, really like the look of him. I really do. I think he is that spark that we've been needing. Unfortunately, Asensio made that mistake, which costed us, but I don't think we're good enough, right, overall. But Huijsen was very good. The fullbacks is the issue here, okay? Personally for me, Trent was better than Fran Garcia, for me, right? But we need to get Trent used to it. He will start. Carvajal not fit, not training, won't be back, so it will be Trent, who will start. And for left back, look, again, Fran Garcia, I'm happy if he stays as the backup option this season, but for me, too much imbalance in this back line. Yeah, when both fullbacks push, they don't have that ability, and it's not because they don't have the speed for it. They are attacking wingbacks. They aren't really used to doing a lot of the dirty defensive work. So that is my issue there. Midfield, there is a little bit of doubt there for me. I haven't been seeing a lot of difference in the midfield. It looks like it just gets overrun, right? It just looks like that. And maybe Bellingham playing in that sort of role doesn't help, because like I said, he's playing through pain and frustration. Tchouaméni looked a lot better when he went to centre back, and then we got a creator. So we need a creator in the midfield. That is my issue here. We've got a Bellingham, I said a Bellingham, but we've got Jude Bellingham, who is the tall, the player who, can do a lot of things. We've got Tchouaméni, the defensive, and we've got Valverde, a lot of pace, stamina, energy to do the running, But where we need a creator, we need Toni Kroos in this team right now, and we don't have that. We need that. Without a creator in the midfield, not a lot happen. Not a lot of controlling of the game of the midfield happens. We don't control the games, and that I've realized is a big issue. We don't control games. When we transition from defense to attack, we either ping a long ball from the back line, or we do a couple of passes. They are good, but they don't often happen because they get intercepted, they get tackled, they get blocked, whatever. Right? And you look at the Rodrigo goal, it's one of those that, okay, there is one chance in the whole game that we created, that we properly deserved to score. But what else? We need a creator in the midfield, and I'm so frustrated at that we haven't gotten that. We need a Vitinha in this midfield. We need a Vitinha to play in this midfield. And who will we come out for? You know, who will he come out for? Can we go Vitinha, Bellingham, Valverde? I don't know, right? And the attack, again, Vini Jr., he is being man-marked by 3-4 players. But again, you know, with the dive that he did, it was terrible. It shouldn't happen. It can't be happening. When you're in that situation, you run. You keep going. If you score, great. If you miss, keep your heads up, you miss. But to do that, it's terrible. But apart from that, we need that flair. We need that dribbling, that daring, that courage to just go. You might get tackled and you might get fouled, but it doesn't matter. Just enjoy the game. If your opponent, kicks you in, your ankle, and it's crazy, they get a red card, they get a yellow card. They get sent off, or they can't tackle you anymore, or they can't afford to make silly mistakes. But whatever you do, just ensure that you play for the passion and for the joy. You go out there, you do your flair, you do your tricks, you make those runs, you dribble, you take shots that make sense, you do things that make sense, you love and play the game. That is the most important part for Vini. He's not doing that. And this is not against Vini Jr. We all want him to succeed. We all want him to do well. But the love of the game has disappeared from him. Last season, we haven't seen that. We have not seen that. I saw a TikTok video of that Vini Jr. goal where he ran past the entire City defense, basically, and he scored. And I was thinking to myself, man, and that was the 21-22 season, the away game, right? Man, I miss that Vini, man. I miss that Vini. Now, I get that he's being targeted in games more because they know that he is a dangerous player. When he has the ball, when he has space, when he has time, dangerous. But still, if you're being man-marked by more players, that allows your other teammates to have space and, be more free. So, think about it. Maybe use yourself as a bait. It sounds bad, but to help the team is important, and just to enjoy the game. Right? Rodrigo looked a lot better in that game against Al Hilal. Gonzalo Garcia scored a great goal, very good finish. I think the fact that he scored that goal shows that there is a player there. Because if he isn't a player with potential, it's very easy to miss that sort of shot. Especially considering he miskicked it and still scored. He didn't perfectly score, but he still scored. So that shows that there is potential there. There is quality there. Again, he just needs someone experienced to guide him. Long ball forward, he's not physical enough yet, but that has to be developed. That has to be trained. The touch, not always ideal. But I see a lot in this young player that I believe, give him a season under a 31, 32-year-old striker, and he will be a lot better from next season on. And I say next season as in the following season. He's still young. It takes time, but he has the potential. But we need to help nurture that potential. We need to get that. We need to unlock that potential. But like I said, this is my team. My most concern is a midfielder that is creative. We need that. We need that. We've been missing that. Since Toni Kroos retired, we have struggled in the midfield in games. In any game. Not just against Barcelona, not just against Arsenal, not just in big games. Games. In general. Controlling the tempo, the speed, the rhythm of the game is very, very important. And we have missed that. And you look at the midfield options that we have. Bellingham isn't it? Valverde isn't it? Modric can't be doing it for 90 minutes. Tchouaméni isn't it? Arda Güler, I've seen people say start him. He isn't it. He isn't a controller of the game. He is a creative player, but he isn't a controller of the game. Dani Ceballos is the closest that we have, but even he isn't it. Yeah, we just don't have that player. So we need a Vitinha. That is literally the player that I would love to have right now. And yeah, I'm looking at left back as well as a worrying place. And as well, maybe striker, but I think we can cut Gonzalo Garcia some slack as well. But in terms of this game, look, I fully expect a better performance from these players in general because they have had time. But I still believe that whatever I said in terms of the left back, the controlling midfield, and the striker is still needed. So whatever it takes after this tournament, get those 3 signings in, get Bellingham his shoulder operation, and if you do all that, and maybe you let one of Mendy and Fran Garcia and Alaba leave, you do that, these players have had time to train and adapt to Xabi Alonso, we will see a different team than what we've seen against Al Hilal. And I think any Real Madrid fan can agree with that. I think it's so simple. Not simple to execute, but it is simple to see in terms of that aspect, right? We know the potential that is with this team, with Xabi Alonso, with the new signings. We know what they bring, we know what they possess, we know what they have. We have seen Vini Jr. have great seasons, have great moments. We have seen Rodrigo do that. Okay, we've seen Jude Bellingham do that. We have seen Valverde do that. Even the new signings, we have seen Dean Huijsen at Bournemouth, we have seen Trent at Liverpool, what they've done. But we are still missing pieces in this team right now that we have to address. That's simple. We are not at 100%. We're not even 90%. We're probably at 50% now. I think that is how significant a controlling midfielder, a proper left back, another striker, Bellingham to get his shoulder injury, that is worth 50% of this team. That's how significant it is. So yeah, for me, simple does it. That's how it is. Score predictions, I'm going to go Real Madrid 2, Pachuca 1. I think we bounce back. I'm not going to go too big of a scoreline difference because I think we got to respect these South American teams. And I think we will see Pachuca, we will see them rock up. We will see them bring that physicality, that passion. Obviously the fans will do that, the passion as well. But let me know what your thoughts are down below. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.